Yes, we are recording.
Oh, we're recording.
Oh, every podcast should start with us. Oh, we're recording.
Okay, awesome.
So somebody calls you Champ, Chris?
Yeah,
Champ?
yeah. I traveled to the distant land of Rochester to see Queens of the Stone Age, one of the greatest rock and roll acts.
Oh, you motherfucker. This is what the real cold open's about.
Queens was awesome.
Yeah, cool. Chris has trading cards.
Yes, I do.
Of Queens of the Stone Age.
I do. I'm missing Mikey's shoes.
Pokemon cards for the band that you're already obsessed with.
Yep.
Wow.
It was an easy buy. It was 2 for $5.
They know they're fans. They know that
know.
they're fucking... Oh, they gobble it up just like a big bowl of spaghetti. You
Is
in
there
this
a
fucking
card where
trade.
he's just kicking a journalist in the face?
Oh my god.
He apologized about that.
That'll
makes
be in
up
the
for it.
next issue.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm missing Mikey's shoes. I got everybody else in the band, though. So,
Wow, man.
yeah. Oh, yeah, and some asshole called me Champ at a bar. So.
Welcome to Everyone I Know, the podcast where we argue about the mundane and we make fun of my brother for being a fanboy.
Yeah.
I'm here with my lovely producer Brendan
Hello.
and my brother Chris.
Brother.
I
That's a
didn't
new
want to
one.
give you an adjective this week.
Fair enough.
We're in the Troy Castle.
This week of Everyone I Know is brought to you by Audible.com. If you want a free audiobook and a 30-day trial, you can go to audibletrial.com/EIK. I am listening to John H. Benjamin's book, actually, right now.
H. John Benjamin.
H. John Benjamin, yes.
Yeah.
Failure is an Option. It's
Oh,
very
cool.
good. It's narrated by him.
I was going to say he's got that
Yeah,
silky
dude, it's
smooth
good.
voice.
I am
Good.
listening to Bullshit Jobs by David Graeber.
Who's
It's
that?
about how almost a lot of jobs just don't really need to exist.
Oh, perfect.
It's very good.
Audible.com, you get some good books. Not really so good as a sponsor. Okay, we're also sponsored by the Madison Poorhouse. If during the course of the episode we will say something and we will determine a secret hashtag. If you respond to our Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and you'll go around in a second, with that hashtag, you can get a free pint from the Madison Poorhouse. Something else going on at the Poorhouse, right, Andy?
That's right. We're having a live show on June 19th. 19th. Do you guys know that reference?
No.
It's a song.
Okay.
Anyway, it's at 7 o'clock at the Poorhouse, so be there or be square.
Can we tell who the guest is?
Mish.
Mishy. If you've listened to the podcast, you know who Mishy is. She's been on a couple
a
of
hero.
times. She's very funny.
Comment on our Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at EIKFellas, EIKFELLAS. This week we have the pleasure of having a real professional with us and a fellow podcaster too, Katie Cusack from The Alt, the music editor of The Alt.
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to give us a little something?
Yeah, tell us about
Yeah,
yourself,
for
Katie.
sure. So I'm the music editor at The Alt. It's the alternative news weekly. Well, now we're bi-weekly. We've been around since November 2016, the infamous month. And we have our podcast, The Altcast, that comes out every Monday. And we recently also started the Altcast music series, which I'm very excited about, where we have local bands and touring national bands, nationally touring bands who come and play a few songs for us. And we put it up on the web for everyone to see. So it's,
cool.
we've been working on that. So look out for it.
Because Albany is actually a happening place.
It's
people.
amazing.
So could you hook me up with like a meeting with Josh Hine by any chance?
I'll work on it. I'll see
Okay.
what I can do.
All right, let me know.
Yeah.
This jam?
Oh yeah, Disc Jam.
Okay, so as you guys have heard for the last 3-4 weeks, I'm going to be at Disc Jam this year, interviewing Joe Schmoes on the street and interviewing artists at our playing. If you see me with my party penguin Pangus, come up and say hi. Disc Jam is the 7th to the 10th of June in Stephentown, New York. My dad's name is Steven, so that's cool.
Yep.
Go to discjammusicfestival.com and follow them on all the media websites at Disc Jam Festival.
Cool. We're going to do the Old Man Minute. If you're new to the podcast, every week our father listens to this podcast, and then he responds to last week's episode with kind of his little rundown of our topics. And I'm going to go ahead and read that right now. Hello, EIK fellas. The weather has been great. I don't know why we don't get more of it since we appreciate so much more, unlike those West Coast ingrates. Let's go. Topic 111. We need an intern. If you find a sucker to perform the tasks that you set forth, then you can count on me swooping in like a vulture to hire him or her away from you by offering them minimum wage.
Wow.
Yep. Topic 2. The 90s baby. He actually wrote baby.
Wow, he's getting hip as
dude.
hell.
Old man.
Oh my god.
Uh,
He's angling for that episode.
Besides changing your plutonium-filled diapers, I remember the 90s for the Alternative Nation on MTV. I'd spend 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. with a 12-pack of Coors Light and my honey, Kennedy, watching alternative rock videos. Kennedy is now a Fox News contributor. I knew she was my type. Okay.
Oh, yikes.
Topic 3, graduations. One of my favorite stories is telling how my rocket scientist son found out the hard way why ironing boards were invented.
Ah, yes.
President Cuomo was not at your graduation, Chris. It was Chuck Schumer. Yeah, that's right. Telling the same tired story he's told for years. I met one of Schumer's lackeys, and he agreed that the Chuckster needs some new material. Love, old man. P.S. There's a great Alex Jones video on YouTube of him interviewing the 30-year-old that got evicted by his parents. Classic Alex Jones.
Oh, yeah. Millennials are killing the napkin industry.
The guy's a touchable.
Yeah, I know. But, like, he's not all of us.
Yeah.
I have a fucking apartment.
I think it's more just about that particular guy just being a touchable.
Oh, yeah, he was the worst.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's from Syracuse, too.
Oh. Cool. 315, baby.
Yeah, dude. 315.
Without further ado, we're moving on now to topic number one.
All right, I am topic 1. We're going to start with something a little light with all the Marvel movies coming out and shit like that.
Trying to get paid.
We're trying to get paid. So let's create our own group of X-Men. But I want these X-Men to be kind of lame. More like a...
More our speed.
Yeah, more our speed, more of an analog to the everyday man.
Yes.
First thing I think is probably a good idea is to kind of find different types of X-Men. Katie,
Okay.
are you familiar with the X-Men, I'm hoping?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So,
Who was it? We had Eric Bennett on, and he...
Oh, yeah, he didn't know anything
He didn't know
about
any Mortal
Mortal
Kombat.
Kombat. Yes, my entire topic was Mortal Kombat. I knew nothing about Mortal Kombat. All right, so kind of like the types of the buckets I've got for types of X-Men. That was a cat. Are the ones with physical abilities, so like super strength, super healing. They can fly, they can transform, they can walk through walls. Mm-hmm. Then there's the people with the brain powers. Mm-hmm. They can control minds.
Professor X, Jean
Professor X.
Grey.
They can manipulate time. They can do telekinesis. And there's like Celestials.
Okay.
Those are
They're
just
like
gods.
straight up gods. Yeah.
So I was thinking like kind of my like buckets.
Okay.
We could do people like that have real convenient powers.
Okay. Yeah.
So a USB man, somebody get the USB in right every single fucking time.
Every time.
Uh,
I figured out how to do it. If you the 2 holes part,
They go up.
That goes up.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Wow.
Lame
There's
X-Men.
there's a part with a disc and there's a part with a slot on the inside too.
Yeah.
And you just line it up.
Okay, so I was thinking like people with personality flaws,
Okay.
but they correct those personality flaws.
Okay.
So like somebody that can remember everybody's fucking name, that'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that power.
Somebody who can remember their friends' faces, which I have
Yep.
trouble with
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, I cannot recognize people's faces from their names or vice versa. It takes me a very long time to do so.
There are members of my family that I don't know their names.
Oh, wow.
Last names. Don't know a lot
Yep.
of last names.
Yep.
People got married.
That's
What was
why,
I
Yeah.
supposed to
Quite
do?
sure.
And they just faded into darkness.
that's why he calls him the old man. He doesn't
Yeah, I have no idea what his name is.
Never heard of him.
So, Chris, I came up with a couple because we had talked about this before, breaking format a
Yeah.
little bit. But so I have a couple. One's called Squinty Man or
Squinty Man.
Myopclops, as in myopia.
Yeah, no, gotcha.
So he can see pretty good if he squints. And then there's Cyclops. I like Cyclops. There's Cyclops. It's Psy
Yeah,
Gangnam
yeah,
style,
yeah.
but he can shoot lasers when he does the dance. So I think that would be
Wow.
pretty fun. There's Dr. X, but for Twitter, so his name is Dr. X with the blue check mark next to it. He's just able to read Twitter anytime he wants through with his head.
So it's Dr. Social Media. Why would we just limit just to
No,
Twitter?
it's Dr. X official.
He saves so much money by not buying a smartphone.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Does that have to worry
That's
about
it.
data?
Yeah.
Oh, he can
Data
turn
man.
into a
Or dead
hotspot.
batteries. There's somebody.
There you go.
Somebody who can just like charge everyone's batteries around them in
And-
like a second.
And he's a mobile hotspot.
Yeah.
Yep. And he can
Right.
charge for that too, which would probably be pretty sweet.
That's kind of like our jam, I think.
Yeah. So we can
Sounds
make
like a
some money.
scheme waiting to happen. I have Mystique, like Mystique, but she can turn into wood. Just any kind of wood.
All of yours puns.
It looks like the vast majority.
I got one more, and it is a pun, so you make your decision.
Wow.
Yeah, so she could turn into the president's desk, and then who knows what kind of secrets she could find. See,
There you go.
what is important.
Wow.
And then I've got this one's dumb.
Oh, as opposed to the others.
Instead of Jean Grey, I've got gray jeans.
She just
She just wears gray
No, she
jeans.
can change the color of her jeans to any shade of gray to match her outfit.
Wow.
So
It's a time saver.
yeah,
So I gave myself I dubbed myself a
Okay.
lame X-Men.
Okay.
I'm IBS man. I can get out of any
any situation.
situation just by claiming I have an IBS tag.
I mean, it worked. It worked
Yeah,
in all through
absolutely.
elementary school for me.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is say you gotta do to yourself. You're good to go.
I mean, that's like the classic excuse for girls in middle school. It's like, sorry, it's that time of the month. I can't do anything. Like, I have to leave right now. And teachers are like, whoa, well, like, I can't prove you
Yeah.
wrong. So
Yep.
get out of here. You're done.
Oh, excuses, man, would be a good one too. Just
Yeah.
somebody who's always got a good excuse.
One that
Way
you
out
can't
there.
escape from.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that episode of Seinfeld when they keep trying to get away from that one friend. I don't know if anyone here watches Seinfeld.
I haven't
but-
seen a single episode of
Yeah.
Seinfeld, and I say that.
That's why we have Brendan here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. When like no matter what they say, the guy's like, "That's fine. We can do this and we can do that." No, like they keep dragging people into it. It's a whole thing.
Well, I almost did that to Dan last week because he was like, "Oh man, I might not be able to make it." I was like, "Oh, it's fine, man. Don't worry about it." And he was like, "No, but I can." And I was like, "Okay, but don't stress yourself."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, but I can. Like, I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna
Stop
be there.
it."
Man, what a guy. I just wanted to say it on the air. We were talking about you earlier if you're listening to this, Dan. And I was telling everyone how great you are. Just racking up some points for myself. That's all I really wanted to do.
Okay, so who's an X-Men that you would like to be? And then maybe we can tone it down to an EIK level of responsibility.
I like all the mind power ones. Like I was thinking someone who could speak every language so that you always know if people are talking shit about you.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's good.
It's like that's my main
That's another
priority.
Seinfeld episode.
Yeah. Oh my god. So I'm leaving.
No, yeah. So bilingual person.
I have been at places where I've heard somebody speaking another language, and you get that twinge. You're like, did I do something wrong? Did I offend somebody? And then like I just thought that like, you know what? If I just start talking right now, it'll just be the right language, and then it'll work, and I can just it'll be that moment to realize that I'm psychic or something.
That would be it. It's been lying dormant in you this entire time.
Yeah,
How about some super villains?
Super
Some super
villains.
villain X-Men like
like Magneto.
yeah. I was thinking more
That's
like
a joke one in itself, really. He's just a walking magnet.
he's pretty powerful though, and
He
he's
couldn't crush you unless
Yeah.
you put him in a plastic cube.
Right.
But the EIK version of Magneto, all he can do is when you really want to stick like way too much paper under one magnet on your refrigerator, he can make that work.
falls off.
Yeah.
He can make that work. No matter how much you want to put under that magnet, he will make it.
Well,
always stay on the
he's
refrigerator.
got to be a super villain, so he's going to inconvenience you in some way. So he can demagnetize things,
Yeah, he can.
but only small
the
magnets.
opposing magnets, he can
Yeah.
only do that. Every time you think it's gonna work, it like bounces back.
Or they just slowly fall down.
Yeah.
He's
Yes.
really not that powerful.
You think it's there, and as soon as you walk away, it's just falling down your fridge.
You walk by him on the street and he demagnetizes all your credit cards.
Yeah.
but not totally. Like they work half the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like swipe it again. Do the bag trick.
Yep.
Or the only magnets that work are like the really cheesy ones on people's cars.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like those
Like
magnets.
live, laugh, love.
You like those
Like-
magnets?
Well,
You like to see them
Yeah.
and then have your own personal thoughts about
yeah.
them.
No, I just think they're kind of funny. Like you go to the dollar store, they have a bunch of them like that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like life's a watermelon. That's like it.
Yeah.
Eat it.
Yeah, you just eat it.
There's this guy he must live near me because I always see his car, and like on one side of his license plate is like a Trump Pence sticker and the other one says caution white trash, and I'm like, how did you do that?
Almost
Like,
feels like there's
wow.
a confirmation bias happening here.
I feel like those, like, you only needed one of those.
Yeah.
One implies
Like,
the
oh
other.
my god. Every time I see him, I get so excited. I'm like, there he is.
There was a guy that used to drive around Albany, and he had a Nixon Agnew bumper sticker.
We've talked about it
Wow.
before on the podcast.
Yes. And like, I hate him. Probably
Yeah.
wouldn't want to hang out with him, but
But yeah, that
you gotta respect having that bullshit on your car for like
Yeah.
30 years.
A long time. Yeah. At no point. Yeah. And to have that car for that long.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good point, actually.
maybe he
Yeah.
just took the bumper off one car and put it on the other.
He's like, if anything's staying, it's going to be this sticker.
It's a classic.
there's a superpower getting your car serviced on time, like regularly. Like I never do.
Yes, I don't either.
Oil changes are expensive. I thought they were free.
They are.
I got into a very heated argument with somebody at Fusillo Volkswagen. Shout out to them, not really.
Sponsor
like
us.
literally in this screaming match with the salesman on the floor because I was told when I leased my car that all of my oil changes would be included, and he told me
Yikes.
it wasn't. And then we started yelling at each other because that's how you de-escalate a situation with a customer. is you yell
Classic
at them.
Billy.
Get Billy on the phone. Or Tom Parks or that
Tom
new
Parks.
guy.
Well, his son's the new face of it. I think.
Fusilla's son
Yeah.
or Tom Parks' son?
No, Fusillo's son.
So when Tom
Junior.
Parks died, Junior. So when Tom Parks dies, then his family is released from the curse, and they can go on and carry on their lives and not have to be on these commercials 24/7.
As a local Utica, well, as a person that didn't really grow up in Utica, but is from the Utica area, I want to apologize for Billy Fusillo.
He's all over the state. Did he
Thanks.
start in Utica?
Yeah, he's from Utica originally.
Wow,
Wow.
something to be
I
proud of.
thought he was
finally.
from here for some reason.
It's because he's ever. Well, when I went to college, I was like, oh, no more Billy Fusillo, and then here I come, and
You're
he's
so
here
wrong.
too.
He's out in Oswego too.
He's everywhere.
Everywhere.
He does stuff in Las Vegas too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's some more supervillains? I want to hit on that.
Villains? Okay. I think that was the only villain that I know from.
Guilt trip person.
Guilt trip man. Oh no, making plans.
Passive-aggressive.
Guilt trip guy.
Yeah.
So like they make really crazy plans and they expect you to come, and then when you cancel on them,
Yeah, they get upset
Like,
with you.
man. Yeah.
I just like the idea of passive aggressive, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Just constantly. Would have been nice if you did that, but I guess it's fine. No, really don't bother yourself with it.
No, it's okay. I'll
I've
be
got
fine.
it. Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
It's like, no, I'm glad you had a good day. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And you're like, shit. You're like awake in bed in the middle of the night.
This is a superpower, not thinking about your past mistakes. That'd be kind of
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
forward
Or
thinking
getting,
man.
yeah.
No student loan debt, man.
Yeah.
Able to budget,
Man. Budget
or
man.
woman.
Yeah.
Read the news man without getting mad, man.
That I like that
There you
one.
go.
I think more being impartial while reading the news and making informed decisions based not on your emotions.
Not stopping at like the first word that upsets you.
Read the whole article.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Especially
Beyond the power
nowadays.
Oh yeah.
So,
Beyond the headlines, man.
Yep.
yeah. People see more than like 700 words. They're like, I'm out.
Yep.
I'm done. That's too much for me.
Yeah, I find an article and just go on Reddit and find somebody who summarized it
Right.
for me.
Yeah.
I look for a video where they read it.
That's pretty good. You can't always get that though.
Well, they've started doing that on like the New York Times and New Yorker where they'll just read it to you. So you don't.
Well, because the first couple times I saw that, I was like, I read through the whole article like a good boy, and then I watched the video and was like, it seems like they're just doing the same thing here. I wonder if
Yeah.
there's like, is there going to be an interview or something
It wasn't
cool?
like a supplement. It was just the same thing.
Which now it's great to know because I hate reading.
But, yeah.
Well, if you hate reading, you can go to audible.com. audible.com/EIK.
God damn you. 2 plugs for these people. They haven't
Wow.
paid us a cent.
Amazing.
Not a cent. Oh man, can't get anybody else though.
Yeah. Were those still villains or were they superheroes? Because I feel like
I
it
think
keeps
they might be-
crossing back and forth.
Anti-heroes.
Okay.
Interesting.
So not the hero that we need, but the one that we deserve.
What about like Uncle Sam? Is he a superhero? He's from Troy.
No,
I don't know what he
is he?
did.
I don't. Yeah,
He gave
Mind
me-
control.
I don't think he
You're
really
telling you to join
did.
the military.
Yeah, exactly. He wants you.
He's the passive aggressive like guilt tripper.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the guilt tripper. He's like,
I guess
if you don't do
care
it,
about your country.
yeah. He's like, listen, I thought you were American.
I guess it
the
takes all
vibe.
types in America.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. If you're a pacifist, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
I mean,
dude. That's all right.
you know, I'd
Your
glad
grandparents weren't, but okay.
I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, but I think it's God. And throughout this land, God bless the USA.
Yeah, God bless you, I said.
That was a fucking barn burner at or assemblies. The
Oh, hell
fucking
yeah.
"God gladly stand up
next to you.
Dude, fucking kids just losing it.
At
I say that-
assemblies?
Yeah.
Yeah, like in school, they get you all in the gym or something like that.
We had a morning
I didn't
program.
have to do that.
They didn't sing to you?
No.
Oh, we had a dude come in with a guitar once and sing about grammar. That was fun.
Oh. So you guys didn't have like Schoolhouse Rock?
We had Schoolhouse Rock, but
This was supplemental to school.
Oh.
yeah, that
Okay.
was. I think it was kind of to waste
like
some time in the day.
remix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but being honest, he probably stole most of his shit from Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
sure.
I mean, he didn't make up numbers and letters.
he didn't make up like the times tables.
I've seen that shit before.
Yeah.
I was saying more like the melodies and such.
Melodies.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Lots of stuff.
he could have just sang it to us. We don't know the difference.
Yeah.
Just as long as they'd sang that fucking "God Bless the USA" song.
So how do you think we can make a little bit of cash? And I want to wrap this up.
Oh, I mean, simple, just save you for hire. But I guess these people don't have any powers to like uninconvenience you for money. So like manage your email, man. Like he like gets rid of all your unread emails. He replies to people. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Sounds like a service.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That
that's
sounds
just,
like a podcast service that other people get paid to promote. I can't remember the name of it.
I feel like you're just circling back to the intern conversation. It's like what an intern does.
Yeah, yeah.
We really want an intern, if we're being honest.
Yeah. I don't know how to monetize. I mean, I guess you could you'd like force them to pay superhero taxes or something.
Oh, so we're making money off of them.
Yeah.
Oh, we keep their identity secrets.
Right.
Obviously.
Like the Incredibles, basically.
Okay. I actually haven't seen The Incredibles.
Oh,
Oh
it's a
my
great movie.
god.
I've heard it's very good.
Second one's
Yeah,
coming
don't
out.
look at me like
You
that.
better brush up before it
The
comes
first
out.
one's great.
It is. It's the best adaptation
Excellent.
of Watchmen they've ever made.
Really?
Yeah, it's so much better than Watchmen. And it's pretty much the same point.
It's very
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be like LifeLock for superheroes.
Right.
Yeah, so we'd be like, Eric Bennett, we're not going to dox you on this program. Eric, don't leave Albany, by the way. Just breaking the mold for a second here. Eric's moving to Philly. Don't do that. Or Pittsburgh. Don't do that.
Oh, everybody keeps doing that.
What is with these places? What's so fun
It's
about them?
probably better, but I don't want to say that.
No, Pennsylvania is a big square.
Yeah.
Big school.
It is.
Yeah, no, Albany's great because
Yeah.
Julie listens to this podcast. Who just moved up from Long Island, so Albany's great.
Albany is great.
There's lots to do.
There is a lot to do.
There is. We have really good beer.
Too much to do, really.
Yep.
All happening at the same time. You gotta like split yourself up to
Yeah,
do it.
there's like a million festivals.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We missed the Greek Fest.
Yeah, no,
Anyway.
I heard about that.
Oh, is that a power? Just Greek man? He can just
how-
give you Greek
Oh,
food?
Greek food all the time.
How about not having to go to weddings, man?
Oh, yeah.
That's who I wish I was right
Yeah,
now.
that's who I am. I just don't go.
I have my third or fourth this week.
For
Yeah.
the summer. Yeah.
Someone who always can come up with a birthday present for you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a marketable skill right there.
Wow,
Or
that's
power.
it.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Elena, former guest on the podcast, because she has that superpower.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous.
She's so good at gifts.
I'm horrible
No,
at
she's
it.
like Leslie Nope. Like she, it's ridiculous how good she is at gift giving.
Who's Leslie? Nope.
Please
From
leave.
Parks and
Parks
Rec.
and Rec.
What do you do?
Listen,
this is a media
You
thing.
have Hulu now.
There's no excuse.
Just sit
I'm
yourself
gonna cut
down.
off my Hulu if you don't start watching these shows.
There's too many shows. Start watching The Expanse. That's really good.
Is that good? Oh,
It's
you told me
very
about
good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. Okay.
Anyway,
Lame superheroes.
let's give them a name. And then I'll wrap up. So we have X-Men. Maybe these are like
B-Men.
B-Men.
I don't know. The B Squad.
What about the Millennial Squad instead of Gen X?
Yeah.
Millennial.
Yeah.
Millennial men.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Millennial
Yeah.
Force will be inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Millennium Force.
Like X-Force.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Millennial Force assemble.
IBS man away. Let's fly on some farts.
Millennial Force.
Millennial Force.
Moving on now to topic number 2.
I want to be Vape Man.
Vape Man. Oh, God, Jewel Boy.
Jewel Boy!
Oh my god.
Those
How'd we
sick
miss
clowns.
that? Ugh. Perfect for the Millennial Force.
Possibly legal.
Yeah, I guess I had a really hard time coming up with a topic that I could stick with, but I landed on the discussion of camping versus glamping because glamping infuriates me, and I wanted to see if anyone else
This will be an
agrees.
interesting conversation.
Yeah, before the podcast, Chris had a deep, dark confession to me that he's glamped.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, man.
Listen.
Like, so me and Julia like rent out like a nice Airbnb. We went to one in Germanville actually, and they didn't have running water, didn't have electricity. They had electricity.
Did they have Wi-Fi?
There was no Wi-Fi.
Okay, well,
I
you
could
really
barely,
roughed it
I
then,
could
man.
barely get a signal.
Did you have a kitchen?
It was outside. There wasn't any. Yeah, there was gas. It was really cool though. We stayed in the fucking shed. So
Yeah.
I got bug bites.
That's like I got bug bites today just by walking outside. That doesn't.
So are you a big
man.
camper?
I love camping. I love it. I have been camping since I was little, and it's just like seems like this really great way to just get in touch with nature and like the wildlife at just a really deep level. And I even to the point where like my dad was getting older and got himself like a camper thing.
Like an RV?
Yeah, not like an RV, but
Or
like
like
the
the
one that you
trailer one?
drag
Yeah.
behind. Yeah. And I was like infuriated with him because I was like, "You're cheating. That's not
Yeah.
really camping," and it became this whole thing. But like, that's how strong. Like, I don't know why I feel so strongly about it, but I don't know. It's just a very different experience, and I feel like you're not really doing it, and you're not enjoying it as much if you're like just basically in a hotel.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun.
Woods Hotel. So,
But that's the thing. That's where I was like struggling because I was like, oh, there's so many people who are just like bad at doing that stuff or don't like it at all. So why am I like shitting on them? But
So, what I'm getting from this is that the big difference, what separates camping from glamping, besides the regular amenities that you get with glamping, is that it's already set up for you.
yeah,
I think that the setup part is what you're pushing
Right.
back against.
or just like it's like having a campfire in the middle of nowhere and like the quiet of it and like the whole like there's depending on where you're camping like little to no light pollution so you can like see everything. Like in glamping situations I feel like I just picture a bunch of cabins that are all lit up and like, you know, you're just like, and I was like reading online earlier because I was like, all right, let's see how, you know, extensive this glamping thing is. But there's like heating and air conditioning and like television and I'm like, you're in a
Jeez.
hotel.
That's just a cabin.
right.
Yeah.
For me, when I think of glamping at like music festivals where it's like you pay like $1,000 and they give you like an
Oh,
air mattress and like a
see?
lamp and
That's
shit.
a little
That's
excessive.
like, but that's an interesting, different way to glamp, technically, because you're just like paying ungodly amounts of money.
Right.
But you're camping like you're actually camping, where it's just like dirty and gross.
Right.
And
But I think what people, I mean, like this came on the scene, I want to say like in like 2014. It was the first time I saw
Yeah.
it. And like, I remember people are like, this is some serious bullshit. Like who the hell goes to a music festival and is like, I don't want to set anything up. I want to have a lamp. Like, cause that was the big thing. They're like, you have a lamp in your tent and the tent's like a big canopy thing.
yeah,
And I don't know, like an air mattress. Like,
yeah.
Chris, pay for your sins.
I really can't.
Humble yourself before us.
Well, no, I understand that the idea of going camping. It's I don't want to say noble, but noble maybe. I don't know. It takes a skill set I don't have, and I don't have the time to learn.
Right.
You know how to set up a tent, though.
It's gonna take me a little while.
Yeah.
And by that time, a bear's eating me. So, no. When I say I've gone glamping, it's more we'll get like an Airbnb that's like out in the middle of the woods, and the place we did stay out in Germantown. It was a huge plot of land.
Yeah.
But there was like a highway right there. But it was like, it was like a huge
There was
plot
a
of land.
Denny's over there. And
You didn't have to drive far to get into town, but it was out in the woods, and there wasn't electricity going to any of the cabins, and there was one central area where everybody like made fires and stuff. And
Yeah.
there was a kitchen with a refrigerator outside, but like it was more camping than I think that like that stuff with like the festival was.
well, I mean,
I had sheets. What the fuck am I talking about? No, I stayed in the cabin.
Well, it was
fun,
as
though.
much camping as you were comfortable with.
Yeah, I guess so.
Have you ever been camping before?
Yeah, when I was a Boy Scout, I want to say we went to a Boy Scout like overnight camp, and that was like straight up. We had a tent and we were in stuff, and we kind of did that in Old Forge too a little bit.
yeah,
I
mean,
feel like when we were
but
kids.
that was more like, yeah, I mean, we did like a KOA type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed, I just made a face because I was attacked under the table by a dog.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so we have a live cat underneath the table. So we're roughing it right now.
Yeah.
Think about it that way. We got,
You're
we
right.
got
There's
hazards.
wildlife in the house.
Where is the line?
Right.
Okay,
That's
so
a
what's the
really
line
good
between
question.
camping and glamping?
bad.
Yeah.
Springs in a mattress?
Yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
But sometimes,
Definitely.
like, okay, so is it still glamping if you bring all your shit and you set it up? Like, say you're just like the ultra,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, people with like a lot of gadgets.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you've got
Yeah.
like the
Yeah, I
ready
don't think
inflatable
that's
mattress and stuff.
glamping, really.
Right.
Like they've brought that with them. I think probably the line is more if something is prepared for you.
Yeah.
And you just kind of walk in and take
If
it.
you're basically at home but just in a different location, that's glamping. I feel
I
like.
feel like somebody like with a bunch of gadgets or something like that, they
Right.
could make it that comfortable if they want to spend the
Absolutely.
time. So would you still consider that glamping?
I don't know.
I'm
Now
getting-
I feel like this is, blurring the lines, which is exciting. I'm like, it's like great. I'm like, yes, because people do have like crazy, like they're basically ovens that you can unfold and set up. So it's not like you're cooking on the fire anymore. You're like using a gas oven.
Yeah,
So
use small propane
that's for me. I'm like, what's the point? Why are you here?
Is
Just go home.
it more the cost of entry that bothers you? Oh. Because okay, so if you're paying for a place, you might be paying a lot of money for that. Or if you're bringing a bunch of guests, you're paying a lot of money for that.
right.
So you're bringing in amenities.
You're bringing
Whereas,
in so much.
like I think what you're getting more on is like a camping would just be more. I don't know.
I just want to like
just
get
basic.
rid of all
Yeah.
of the shit, and like where you like just there's limited cell service, like you're just
Yeah.
like out, and you're cut off basically from all of that stuff, and you sort of have to like dig into things more and like figure them out, and like learn how to cook in different ways or like
depend on yourself a little
Right.
bit more than your gadgets.
yeah.
This
Or-
reminds me of a little episode of a show I like to call Hey Arnold. Do you know what I'm talking about? No. There was an episode where they all go camping, and Helga Pataki, the rich girl on the show, her dad is one group of people that's going, and the other half is Arnold and his grandpa and like Gerald. And then Pataki's dad brings like a big RV with like all this like satellite tech and all this crazy shit.
Right.
And then Arnold's grandpa just brings like a lean-to and all that stuff. And then all the technology goes down, and they had to rely on themselves, and they ate the wrong berries,
Yeah.
and somebody got sick. So.
That's upsetting. Foraging is also super fascinating to me. I don't know how to do it, but that's like a whole other thing.
Oh, I actually saw you did an article, right?
Isn't
It came
that
out today
cool?
with Sean
Yeah.
Rowe. Sean Rowe?
Yeah, Sean Rao. He's
Rao.
like super talented musician, but he also is like been foraging for 20 years and like taking classes and just going out wherever, like he'd go out around here and just like find whatever he can find and go home and cook it. And I think that's like wild. I mean, it's not, but it's like, it shouldn't be really, right? Because like, that's sort of how we all started.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are so like moved away from all of that, and we just are like depending on.
Is he catching small animals and cooking?
I think he knows how to, but he's not doing it for the
Okay.
show. It's more about like plants and berries and like fruits and vegetables and all that stuff. which is
I think it's
cool.
interesting how like nowadays, like obviously we have all this technology and stuff, and like people don't have to do this kind of stuff, and it becomes almost like a luxury to
Right.
go back to
To
nature.
get
Like,
out of it.
I mean, this is kind of throwing this argument into another twist, but there are people that pay thousands of dollars to go to nature retreats where they go
Yeah.
sleep in yurts and stuff like that.
Yeah, or like people who go on meditation retreats where you don't speak for like 2 weeks.
Right.
Like those kinds of things where you're really cut off from all the noise and all the craziness and just like constant need to communicate and do all those things. So I think it is sort of a extension of that, but not on a like lesser level. Yeah.
And I think, in the time-honored tradition of this podcast,
We can make some money.
damn right we can.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Let's figure out how we can lower the overhead so low, but
Right,
still
do we-
make
do we
so
know
much
anybody-
money.
Do you know anybody with the plot of land?
Yes.
Who?
Brendan from my friend Brendan from Averill Park.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So he has a land. We call it Pappy Land.
Okay.
Because it
Wow.
I
belongs
was
to
like, this is a townhouse. I'm like,
Brendan's house. Also, this will be where you sign up, and then we'll bus them over to there.
This is kind of a what's it called? Not home base.
HQ.
From like Everest, like the first base.
Oh, this is base camp.
base camp. This is base camp. We'll call this base camp.
Okay, so you come to base camp.
Yep.
Then we take you out to Pappy Land, called Pappy Land because it belonged to his grandpappy.
Oh, I like that.
We'll take you out there. You don't say a fucking word while you're there.
Yep. We're gonna blindfold you.
Blindfold
So
you.
you don't know.
You
where
don't
you're
know where you are. You don't know how you got there.
going. Exactly.
And then
You might be tied up. Maybe we'll just throw you out the door.
health and safety is paramount.
Well, they're gonna
at
sign
EIK.
up.
A release form.
Yeah,
There's
they're
a
gonna sign a
release
release
form.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I meant legal protection is paramount
Exactly.
at EIK. Okay, so then we take them out there. You don't say a fucking word. You build your own tent. You live there for a week and $5,000. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. No, I think we're gonna sell packages. We have to.
Oh, of course.
That's the only way you make any type of money. I think probably want a monthly fee to be part of the culture and club.
Careful when you say culture that you say it all at once, not cult.
Cult?
Culture.
Oh, culture. Gotcha. So if you want to join this cult, it's probably going to be at least, I'd say it's probably $5,000 entrance fee.
Right.
And then probably $100 a month.
But every person
For
that you
upkeep.
bring in,
Exactly,
they
you're
start
gonna
making
knock-
money for you.
Exactly, you
Classic
get-
pyramid structure. How every business should be structured,
Yeah, I think
obviously.
so.
From the top down.
And Kate, if you want to be the first partner, low price for you will knock it down to...
This is not a partner. This is a customer.
Wow.
No, it's a partnership.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody that comes in after you, you get a little
Oh,
little cut of
right.
that.
You
Yeah.
could be the
I'm
second tier
the
on the
tip of the
pyramid.
pyramid.
No, we're the tip. We're the tip of the pyramid.
Because
Interesting.
You're really close to it. Just like a step down. Just a little bit.
and just 10% of everything that you bring in, we get that, and then we use that to
We get 90 shares then.
we reinvest it into the company.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
So we don't actually see any of this. It's like you know the fire festival. Remember that Ja Rules?
It's not,
Wow.
It's not like that.
That raging success.
Exactly, and that's our business model.
God, what a magical time in our lives to experience Fire Festival.
It's just so
That
great
was
that
so
we
good.
grew up listening to Ja Rule. He's like, everybody that be giving it up, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, come down. Where was it even? Like, it was in the Caribbean? Or?
Yeah, it was on the Virgin Islands, I think.
Okay. And then no bologna
Did you
on
see
your
those, I was gonna
sandwich.
say those sandwiches look
Yeah.
good.
Forget about it.
Good luck.
I would say we could get the guy that
Excellent.
like set it up, but I think he's in jail now.
I think he is, yeah.
I think he went to jail for fraud.
Or, you get a personal signed letter from like Kendall Jenner,
Oh, yeah.
She was like selling it, right?
Oh, is
Wasn't
that
she?
actually a part of it? I thought
They
that was
had-
part of our business model. 'Cause I'm
Oh,
totally down
yeah,
with
you
that.
could-
Any way we can chill out.
I
is
mean,
fine
I'm
with us.
sure if we got in contact with her, maybe she'd be down. She's like super into like granola things because she's just handing Pepsi out to
Yeah,
to
to the
protesters.
revolution, to the hashtag resistance.
She's with us.
I like these ideas. We're knocking
Yeah.
down your entrance fee a little bit here.
Thank you.
I think we might make you
Wow.
full partner after this. You got a lot
Excellent.
of ideas.
I know, yeah. And they're just going to keep coming, but I know my value, so I'm going to hold on to them.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
Very cool.
We'll see
Yeah,
at the
watch
shareholders
out.
meeting.
Right.
So if you're out there and you want to shut the fuck up for a week and make your own damn tent, we'll work on marketing later.
Yeah.
But you should
Size
just
department.
keep it fucking down.
If you can't stop talking and everybody wants you to,
Oh God, we're gonna end
we
up at
have
this.
this.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll record
we
a
have the
podcast.
solution for you.
Come to EIK Fire Island,
That's exactly it.
but we spell it
Firefest.
Firefest.
Yeah.
But we'll spell
Yeah.
it right. FIRE
Festival.
Festival. There we go.
The whole
TM.
way.
No, can we spell it with a PH?
Oh yes. And we'll get the fish fans in there.
That's the last idea I'm giving you. I'm holding out.
Well, I've knocked like $25 off the entrance fee.
With the PH will hint that fish will be there. We'll get all the
Oh
fish
my
fans in
God.
there. Shit, we're gonna be fucking rich. Last episode of EIK, guys. All right, without further ado, and also before we get sued, moving on now to topic number 3. Okay, so I'm the last topic tonight, and given your vocation, Katie, I would like to ask you. I'm also going to be interviewing some artists coming up, and I've never done it before. I hope they aren't listening right now because I've never. So I would ask you how not to interview someone, because I'm afraid I'm going to put my foot in my mouth.
So real quick, you should be charging him for this.
Yeah.
I think so.
Listen,
Just saying.
okay. Well, then
Yeah.
obviously the
This
we'll
is-
make
There's
her
no
full
free lunches.
Full
This
partner
is-
in Fire Island.
Yeah. This is like a free introduction course.
Okay, there you go.
There we go.
For your introduction, you gotta get $50 off at least.
You know,
Deposit, $50
we're
deposit.
a free publication. We like cater to our readers and all of their needs and wants.
Gotta quit hanging around us capitalists.
Yeah.
I know
so-
it. It's just
Trying to
like
make a buck.
I was sweating there. I was like, this is so not my style.
Okay, so I looked up like some dumb like BuzzFeed type things,
Oh,
and they're
I love
like,
those.
yeah. So the first thing they say is prepare, and
Yeah.
what I think that's kind of like a given. Like you should maybe they literally start the articles like, listen, numbnuts, don't go in there like you're hot shit. Fucking write something on a piece of paper. And so I thought that might be a good idea. So I figured like you should maybe like listen to their music, like figure it out.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a good idea.
One of the things I was thinking is like, how does flattery play into it?
Oh, flattery.
You have to do it
I
a
don't
little bit,
know.
right?
No, I
No?
don't
It
think
worked
so.
right on me.
Okay.
No, I don't think flattery is the same as sort of discussing the way that they've gone about making a project or becoming an artist. It's if you start out by talking more about that, you don't have to immediately be like, I love your music, man, it's so good, like, and then just like hope they tell you everything, because I don't know, I just don't think that really gets you anywhere. I mean, I've done that before, but for people that I actually was like
That you have
obsessed,
the
like I just had to
background
say
to-
it.
yeah.
Like I was like a super emo kid growing up, and I was like in love with Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens, and I just got to interview him like 6 months ago. So it was like this very weird time warp where I was like, oh, I haven't listened to this band in a really long time, and I don't really know anything about their new stuff, but I was like, I'm going to tell you right now that you're the greatest. And he was just like, oh my God, thank you. And I was like, that's it. That's on my system. I've wanted to say it for like 10 years. So like those kinds of situations, like go for it. But I don't know. Don't immediately resort to that, because it doesn't really
Doesn't work.
No.
Okay, so I thought that it might be a good strategy to kind of figure out what they want to be presented like how they try to put themselves out to the world. So like if they're like, it's certain people like certain singers want to be like, they're like a technical singer, like, oh
Yeah.
my God, they've got so many octaves, like
Range. Yeah.
yeah, like there's certain words that I kind of want to throw in there to make sure that they, I'm speaking their language to something.
Right. Yeah.
And then we come to the topic of stalking people on the internet. That's like part of the job, right? That's
Right.
research.
Yeah, well, it's like that's something that's interesting, because it's something that people, like music writers, really kind of debate about, like whether to go in kind of blind to other interviews or to go in knowing what other questions have been asked. And I personally like to know what other questions have been asked, just to be like, can I ask them something that they haven't been asked before, to make the conversation different and new for them, and also unique for me, to be talking with them about something that's different. And people are excited to talk about things that are new. Like
Right.
they don't want to go over the same things. And you can hear it in their voice, you know,
when
because
it's
sometimes
rote versus when it's something new and you like actually catch
right,
them.
or they've had to tell a lot of people this, because sometimes I do have to sort of ask those questions like, hey, I know you wrote this album with this producer, like what was that like, just to lead into something else instead of just like being like, I know about this one specific song I want, because that does start to seem like, oh, I've read about this and I've practiced this. I want it to be more of like a natural flow of a conversation. So you do have to every once in a while throw those in, but you can hear in their voice that they're like, yeah, like this is what we did and like blah 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 blah, and that's, you know, the difference.
Okay, so one thing that I'm gonna actually do, we're gonna kind of do the podcast with them. So like, I kind of need to know how to bridge between like, your music's great. How do you like your eggs prepared?
I noticed in this one song you mentioned, I don't know, a frying pan. Do people sing about frying pans?
Is that? I mean, I'm not interviewing bare like naked ladies, but they do have that song where they watching
Wow.
X-Files with the lights on. Oh no, I know. Oh, there's a part
Whoever the hell
about
that is.
chickadee China.
No, the Chinese chicken.
Yeah.
You have a drumstick in your brain.
No, they don't say frying pan.
No.
I just made you say underwear. Love that line.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
It got me. That got me,
Amazing
man.
songwriting.
I've been wanting to tell you
God.
this since I was 13, but
Yeah.
like, oof,
You did it. You made me say underwear.
when you said it's been, I was like, ooh, I felt that.
It's bad.
It had.
my heart stopped.
Ben. I feel like Bare Naked Ladies would be easy to interview for this podcast because they
Oh,
talk
they
about a
love-
bunch of random shit. And you can be like,
Yeah.
yeah, you mentioned this one time in a song.
podcast.
Now you're on a podcast.
The old timey podcast called Songs.
Called music. Amazing. Yeah, I don't know how to bridge that. It's just like it just has to be a part of the conversation. I feel like if you don't think about it as much, it'll just like come up. Like
Yeah.
because when you eventually run out of questions, you can just be like, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Like, just fun questions, and then those are just as fun as, you know, technically important questions.
I think a good way to do that would be to sandwich them.
Yeah, I think that's what I will do.
Yeah.
Crazy, serious. Like, oh, I noticed you did this X, Y, and Z, and that was really impressive. How did you do that? Also, how do you put your toilet paper roll on?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have
Ooh.
it facing forward or backwards, the right way or the
Good
wrong way?
question.
Easy
Exactly.
question. Move on to the next one. Come on, hit me again.
Do you put your cereal in your bowl first or your milk?
Oh, cereal in the bowl
Cereal
first.
in the
come
Yeah,
on.
I mean, obviously, but that's how you find
It's immense.
narcs.
That's like
They start panicking. Like, I don't know.
hello, fellow teen. On BuzzFeed, they said no selfies. Like, am
Jesus.
I like what? Like, come on, not gonna do
Yo,
that.
when I eventually interview Josh Homme, I'm taking a selfie with him.
When
Yeah, dude.
you do have his trading
gonna
card,
find
you're
him.
halfway there.
Yep. Actually, I have some questions prepared
You
for Josh
never
Homme
know. It's gonna be like as soon as you stop hoping to interview Josh Homme,
Well,
he's
see, the
gonna
thing
just
is, it's never
email
gonna
you.
happen because I'll never stop hoping.
Just gonna kick
No
you right in the
selfies.
face.
It's all right. You can kick me in the face.
Okay, so should I like try to like play to their interests and their weaknesses? Like if I'm, for example, interviewing a Quentin Tarantino, do I wear sandals? Like if I'm interviewing like Axl Rose, do I make sure that like my bandana is straight?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And red.
Very red and wrapped around the microphone. And
Yeah.
many.
Yeah. And one of those tank tops that just like is cut all the way down to your hips.
Yep. You gotta have. Oh, you're talking about like the bodybuilder ones that he wears.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking a lot of fringe would be good for him too. I feel like he's a fringe kind of guy.
Yep.
Okay. We were talking about this earlier, like unique questions, right? So I think that looking at other interviews is good because like one of the people that I'm interviewing is in a band called Dopapod. Dopapod is a
Cool.
palindrome. Fucking everybody asks them about palindromes.
Yeah.
And I don't think
That's
they like to talk
annoying.
about it anymore. So I'm not going to, although I could totally geek out about it because I'm a geek. So do you like? I was thinking like maybe some bad questions just to kind of just to get them out of my system. Like, are your teeth real? Is that a weird question?
I mean, I'd look up and make sure that like they are just in case so that they're not like horribly offended. Like they're like, who told you that?
How about like something that plays to some of the things we were talking about earlier with schemes, but like what's your social security number and your home address and mother's maiden name?
Yep.
Yeah. No, I think those would be great.
Those are good ones, right?
Yeah, those
Okay.
are excellent questions to ask anyone.
I want to talk about off the record too.
Okay.
How does that work?
Yeah. So that's so funny.
So
It's
when somebody
basically-
just says off the record,
off the record, I
but
killed
it's
a guy.
but it's still it's being recorded probably still.
Yeah. Well, it's basically like as soon as you say it, anything that you say is off the record until you like specifically ask them, like, was that most recent statement, like if you keep talking and one of you forgets to be like on the record again, like, because you kind of have to be careful of that. It's basically like, how much of that previous conversation or that one question was on the record, and they'll be like, oh, the rest of our conversation wasn't, especially if you're talking about like the same topic of something. They might stick with that, and maybe they won't, but like you never want to like question that. That's like a very careful, it's a touchy situation.
It's like a sneaky thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So like somebody might be like, oh, I hate this guy in my band, and then you're like, they're breaking up, like I can tell. Or something
It's
like that.
it's like journalists sometimes are like priests or therapists because we just have to sit with that information.
Right.
And just like
Bartenders.
not. Yeah.
Bartenders.
Yeah. If it's off the record, if it's on the record, anything goes. And you can't at the end of a conversation be like, oh, by the way, that thing I said about blah, blah, blah was off the record. No, like you can't do that.
But like, how does that work? Like, is that just like a thing that we decided that like...
Yeah, I don't know. It's just always been a rule as far as I was taught in my
Ethics, man.
alma
I mean,
mater.
I understand it's ethics and whatever, but
Yeah.
like if somebody says something to me, I feel like I heard it. And then it lives in my brain, and
Yeah.
if it does, like I'm not great at like not speaking when I shouldn't, and like you know this feeling like when you know something, you gotta say it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
off the record, these teeth aren't real.
Yeah.
Or off the record, Tupac is still alive, and hi, I'm Tupac.
And I am Tupac. It's me. I've been hiding all along. In what'd we say? Oh, in the Firefest.
Exactly.
Firefest.
In EIK Firewoods.
Yeah. Well, it's
He was just
Pappy's-
waiting to
Pappy's
perform.
Pappy Land.
Yeah.
Land. Pappy Land. Oh, yeah. If you come to Pappy Land, you can meet Tupac.
Yeah.
That's a promise.
That's
That's our guarantee.
He's out there somewhere. Somewhere in them woods.
Just gotta find him.
Do you guys have any off the records you want to throw out?
off the record. Ooh.
I got one.
Oh yeah, off the record.
Off the record, I cried a lot during Click. The Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah,
Dude, that movie got me good.
At what point?
All like the part where he's dying and his son's like, "I hate you, Dad."
Yeah. He like
and then
missed out on his kids.
Yeah. Or like when he replays his father showing him like a trick or some shit like a bunch of times. Remember that?
No, he replays he does it a lot. I know that he replays an argument with his wife, and that was a big thing. He was like, "Oh, I just need this time with her," or something like that. That's my Adam Sandler voice. Is it good?
sounds
Wow.
So
yeah.
good.
off the record. It sounds great.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Off the record, it sounds great. Excellent. Man. I feel like that's a whole topic on itself. Movies that you've cried
at.
to.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
That-
shit. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
That's good. Throw that in the can.
Yeah, seriously.
Off the
The
record.
Notebook.
Yeah.
The Notebook. Never saw it.
Well, like unexpected ones. Like I cried for some reason watching Finding Dory. I was like, why did I? But Disney
not during
movies don't
Finding
do
Nemo.
that.
That's interesting.
No. Yeah. I think I had just had it with that Disney universe, and I was like, you guys are just doing too much.
I cried unexpectedly, not during a movie, but during a TV show, an episode of Futurama. Not the one with the dog.
Wow.
The one with the dog is a tough one.
That's a tough one.
That's a toughie.
There's a new one
Yeah.
with Fry's mom, and
Oh,
I
jeez.
cried.
Yeah.
Off the
Dog
record.
one is rough. I
Dog
forgot
one is-
about that.
They actually make a joke about it, and like they do like the little captions underneath
Yeah.
every episode. It's like, this is not the one with the dog. was one of the captions.
Excellent.
Matt Groening has a new show coming out.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Disenchanted.
On Netflix.
And I think
Abby
Jacobson
Jacobson.
isn't Eric Andre involved in
Yes,
that
Eric
too?
Andre's
Oh,
also
wow.
involved.
He's been
in
tweeting about it.
everything all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's great.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
Dude, all you got to do is get up on the stage at the RNC with Alex Jones. What the fuck? Why can't we do that?
Good. We
Anything
kill
could
it.
happen.
I had a couple questions.
Sure.
Some interview questions. Hey Josh, why are your tattoos so cool? Hey Josh, why are your music so good? Hey man, want to be friends?
It reminds me of the Chris Farley sketch where he's like interviewing. It's pretty much the same thing. He's interviewing somebody that he loves, and he's like, when you play that show and you jumped off the stage and people caught you.
That was really cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure he's never heard any of those questions before.
Nah, probably
those
not.
would be really good ones.
Josh, what would it be like if we just spent a night together?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah.
I've got one. I actually did ask a musician a question once. Two different musicians, and one I'm not going to talk about because the answer's a little racy. But do you know the band Yacht? They were pretty popular, like 2010, something like that.
I think so. No.
Anyway, we went to see them in New York City once, and I had actually seen them when I was a kid. Like I was like I don't know, I was probably like 17, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had asked them the same question, and I came back to the show, and they have this thing where they'll do like question and answers with the audience, and they're usually like, people are like, what do you like about whatever? Like, it's just dumb questions, and they'll answer them like in a funny way.
Yeah.
And the question I asked them was, what were your favorite food and your favorite orifice? And it's a great question to ask people because it throws them off their game. They knew what to do with it. The other person that I asked was Iced Tea, and
Oh wow.
in a crowded assembly
I'd love to
room.
hear about that.
I'll tell you off the record after the podcast because his answer is not great. But yeah, they all went around. There's like, I think there were 5 people in the band, and they all went around. First person was like Jonah, I think one of the singers goes, pizza, and then everybody in the band just goes pizza, pizza, pizza,
Yeah.
and then Claire, the other singer, big person in the band, she goes, my favorite food is Soylent Green, and my favorite orifice is the sinus. And then they went into a song. And it was really great because she
Wow.
didn't say the stuff that the question implies,
Right.
which was kind of what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So if you're out there, Ice-T, think about the way that you answer these questions.
At an assembly, like a school one you guys were talking about earlier?
I went to, no, it wasn't. Not quite,
Yes, he was our principal.
Imagine.
That's who came in and sang the songs about
Oh
the
my
alphabet.
god! And I gravely stand up. That's my impression of Paul Tompkins doing Ice-T. But
I'm just a bill.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill.
Amazing.
But it was like he like gave a talk at Oneonta. He talked about robbing jewelry stores. It was cool. And he also talked about
What
being in
a
the
national
military. I
treasure.
didn't know that he was in the military.
Wow.
And he didn't know. I knew that he was on SVU, but he was really proud of it, so that was cool.
Yeah.
His life story is super fascinating.
Yeah, he's a crazy dude. A lot of things to say.
He's one of my favorite characters on SVU. He's great. I don't watch that show often. I don't understand like the cult following of it because it's just so dark and disturbing in a very real way. And I'm like, why is this like a comfort show for people? People are like, I just want to curl up on the couch and watch Law and Order SVU. And I'm like, who are you and who hurt you?
Psycho.
Well, people fall asleep to it too.
Yeah.
And that's the
What?
crazy thing.
No,
yeah,
thank
people are like,
you.
I just put on Law and Order and then the dung dung and I'm asleep. It's crazy. It's like the victim was murdered and then raped
That's just
and then murdered.
Pavlov's. Like, that's all that is.
Yeah,
It's
right.
has nothing to do with the show.
People do have it. Like I saw somebody with a tattoo of the sound waves of the dung dung.
Oh, no.
It's great, but
Wow.
it's dedication that I don't have.
Absolutely.
So we're wrapping up.
Yeah, I want to wrap it up.
Well, if you were listening, thank you for listening.
That's my line.
Say it then.
Folks, if you're still listening, thanks for listening to us. Don't forget, we're going to be at the Madison Poorhouse on June 19th.
No, 19th.
It's a
I'm gonna play that
Tuesday?
song for you guys.
Okay. It's going to be a Tuesday. We're going to have Mishy there. It'll be a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun last time. What's your secret hashtag?
Oh, what is the secret hashtag? Ice-T Assembly?
Yeah, Ice-T Assembly. Assemble Ice-T.
Oh, no. EIK Fire Festival.
Yep.
But it's FPHIRE
Know how to spell it.
Festival, normal style.
Yeah.
And you'll get a pint from Madison Poorhouse at EIK Fellas on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Yep. Hey, Katie, thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Do you have anything you want to plug to our hundreds of listeners? Tens of listeners?
We got a solid hundo.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
was
guess
looking at some more diagnostic stuff that was released by iTunes recently.
Jesus Christ. Off the record.
Yeah, off the record.
Off the record. Do not share this information. I guess tune in to the Allcast every Monday.
Where can you find that?
It is on our website under editorial. We have like little tabs. It's also on our Facebook. We just put it up there whenever it comes up. Cool. And then our music series, which comes out pretty much whenever we can get our grimy little hands on a band. So we will have one of those actually coming up very soon. So just keep your eyes.
And you find that on the website as well?
Yep, same situation.
Thealt.com.
Yeah, tune in.
Cool.
All right.
All right, folks. Well, thanks. And, be nice to each other, right?
Everyone I know. Thealt.com. Rate, subscribe.
Audible.com. KS.